Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you might be joining from. I am HR Funk, and this is my firing line for April 27th, 2024. This is the online firearms show where it's totally driven by you, your questions, and your comments. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting here talking to Chewy, and he'd be looking at me like I was crazy. Now, all of you get to share in that experience as well. There are several reasons that we're having a live stream this morning instead of the typical Saturday premiere video, and I'll get into all of those as the show unfolds. But before that, I want to say a quick hi to everyone who's already joined. And interestingly, my counter is showing there are 0 people here at the moment, but I see a lot of comments over here. I know Jeff Tim was in early, loves dogs 1954. Terry Barnes is here. Roy Kiefer is here. And I know I saw some others down in through here. Ben Crane, and Rich Powers. And if I missed anybody, I apologize. Craig Benz is here. I see him down, AK all day. So it looks like we got some more coming in now. And now my counter says we're up to 12 people. So good. At least the counter has counted some number of you. I don't know if it's completely accurate. Just like I don't know if I know that a lot of things are accurate that are going on with YouTube and video feeds and everything else these days. And as I said, I'm going to get into a lot of this as the show goes on. But there are several reasons that I mentioned a moment ago that I'm doing the live stream this morning instead of the Saturday morning premiere video. Some of it has to do with some events last week, beginning with the weather. I'm at the point of the year where a lot of the video projects that I have that I'm working on or that I've dreamed up over the course of the winter are projects where I need to be outside on the range, actually being able to do things. And our weather here, rainy, cold. Now, I was on the range just about every day, but it was the weather was so bad that I really didn't think I could take video equipment out there and not have to worry about getting rained on and damaged or blown over by the wind. Or one day I know it was just so dark out there that I don't think I could have really taken good video because there just wasn't enough light. But I did get a lot of preliminary things done. I got some optics zeroed. I got some firearms, some testing done, and some other things. So again, I was shooting just about every day, but I just wasn't able to take video. Now, the reason that's relevant to this week is because of the production schedule and the way things work. When I record the video, and I think I've said this before, however much time I have in recording a video, basically my rule of thumb is double that, and then that covers the editing portion as well. So if I have 3 hours worth of video recording for whatever the topic might be, then I'm going to have 3 hours in editing, 4 hours or 4 hours. My average video for an average 20-minute to half an hour video, I probably have, depending upon the complexity of the video, 8 to 10 hours invested in that video. So it's not a small undertaking. It's not something that I can throw together in an hour and post it, other than my training private Chewy videos or something like that. Some of the, excuse me, some of the shorts. But when I get the video recorded and edited and then finally uploaded to YouTube, then another part of it starts, which is going through the YouTube song and dance to see whether or not the video is going to be monetized. It is to the point with YouTube where every video, the instant I upload it, is instantly demonetized. So it don't even think about it. It just, and I'm not alone. I'm not suggesting that I'm the only person that this happens to. But as soon as I upload it, it is instantly demonetized. Then there is an appeal process that I can start or that I can initiate once I see that it's demonetized. But here's another thing. They used to allow this appeal process to be started on the phone app. So if I wasn't home, if I wasn't around my desktop computer that I'm talking on now, I could at least start that, if I was wherever, at the grocery store or someplace else, when I see that the video has finally finished uploading and they have instantly demonetized it. So now they've changed that again to where I have to initiate this appeal process from a desktop. And I don't know if this is everybody, all the content creators on YouTube, or if this is just some of us. And I don't have enough interaction with enough other content creators to know the answer to that. But in any case, whenever I get to a desktop and I initiate that process, then YouTube can take up to 7 days. Well, I guess what they say is normally they make a decision within 7 days. I have had some videos go longer before they decide whether it's going to be monetized or demonetized. Normally, I get an answer within probably 2 or maybe 3 days, but there's no way to know that. So I always have to build in basically a week from the time I upload it until the time that it's going to go live. Now, all of you who are normal or regular viewers know that I have a schedule where I release a video on Saturday mornings and on Wednesday mornings. So essentially, I've got to have that video uploaded a week ahead of time. So if I'm going to release a video next Saturday, I have to have that uploaded today and initiate that appeal process to see whether or not that video is going to be monetized to go live next Saturday. And this whole demonetization appeal nonsense really, really screws with my timing to try to get these videos regularly released to all of you. Um, so there's that all that's going on. Then I've got some family issues that are going on that are nothing drastic, nothing major, but they are time consuming. I had that happen a couple of days ago where I woke up. This was on Thursday, I think. I thought, all right, I'm going to work on. In fact, it was a video that is maybe going to go live next Wednesday. So I thought I got all day to work on this. I can probably get the recording part done in the morning. I can get the editing done in the afternoon. I can get the video uploaded and still have time to make supper before Mimi gets home. Well, no, I had this unexpected family issue comes up, and I spent, I don't know, essentially the first half of the day working on that. And then I got back and I managed to get the video recording done. It was a halfway decent day weather-wise. I got out to the range. I got some recording done there. But when I watched the video, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's me knowing all the backstory of what's going on here, but the video feels rushed to me. I don't feel like it has the smooth flow that my videos usually do, or at least that they've had for a while now. So there's that. And then the final nail in the coffin, I guess, is some of the shenanigans that are going on with YouTube here recently. And I've seen other commentary on this from other creators. And it seems that there are other content creators out there who are part of some sort of groups. I heard somebody mention within the last few days in a video where they were talking about YouTube taking actions against them, saying that they used to be part of a network or part of a company or something like that that was basically other or composed of other content creators. And I guess some of these organizations, whatever you want to call them, entities, have some sort of contact with YouTube and they can get information back and forth to people that are part of their group. I'm not part of a group. I'm just sort of a lone ranger here. So whenever these things go on, if I don't see a notice from YouTube, and they do in our creator studio, there's a little thing down there that says something like news this week from YouTube, and you can read that. And a lot of times it doesn't pertain at all to anything that I'm doing. It'll be talking about things like videos that show nudity or sexual activity or something like that, some rule changes they've made, and I don't even bother watching those because, like I said, they have no bearing on me. Now, interestingly enough, firearms content, when I upload a video, and I should make a video or a short video on this to show all of you what the upload process looks like, because there's a portion of it when I upload a video where you essentially have to self-report what type of video you're uploading. And there are a group of maybe 8 different categories where if you fall into that category and you click on it, then it opens up another menu and you have to pick one of the little subcategories under there. And there are some subcategories where it's okay for ad revenue or for ads to appear on your video. And there are other categories where it automatically takes you out of the monetization picture. And with firearms content, we're lumped in there with, sexual content, unsafe content, all these things where you think, okay, I can kind of maybe see where advertisers would be coming from, not wanting to put their ads on this type of video or video with this type of content. But firearms is just shoehorned into that. And we're talking about a legal activity that people can engage in safely and enjoy it either for recreation or for improving their skills for defensive purposes or whatever. But still, we get lumped in with all of that. And when you click on that, then the very first one, if you click that category, which I virtually always click because I don't have unsafe content. I don't have content that's showing children using firearms. I don't have content where I'm making machine guns or anything like that. But anyway, that starts that whole ball rolling for the uh, monetization. And then, of course, like I said, once it finally does upload, then it gets instantly demonetized. And I go through this appeal process and all of that rigmarole. So anyway, there's that going on. And then some of you might have seen the short video that I produced this past week. When I uploaded my video, when my video went live on Wednesday, which was my review of the Siley Optics, the GT10, and the Wolf 2. By the way, if you have any interest in Siley Optics and you haven't seen that video, go back and take a look. I think it's a pretty good video. It's a pretty good review. And I also get into some other shooting with my Sub 2000 and also my Canik Rival Dark Side. So if you're interested in any of those firearms or Siley Optics, take a look at that video from this past Wednesday. But when I sat down Wednesday morning for the premiere, the chat log was already going off to the side, which it virtually always is when I sit down. And one of the people there, and it was Elaine's Domain, some of you know who that is, posted something on there that said no comment. And I thought, no comment? What are you talking about? So I said, what are you talking about? And he said, there's no comments allowed on this video. I said, what? And I looked underneath, and sure enough, it said comments have been turned off for this video or been disabled for this video or some little message like that. I thought, what in the world is that about? So I clicked over quick to my studio and went into that video's editing area, and I went down through the various settings that I have. And sure enough, I came to the comments and they were turned off. Now, I didn't turn off the comments, so they were somehow automatically turned off. So I turned them back on. Came back over to the video, said, yeah, I don't know what happened, turned the comments back on. So we went on with our typical premiere and all of the banter that goes on and all of that. And by the time the video was over, the comments were turned off again. And I thought, what? So I went back and I turned them back on. So this led to several hours worth of my comments being turned off and me turning them back on, comments being turned off, me turning them back on. Finally, I uploaded a short video because I wanted everybody to know I didn't turn the comments off. This is something that really bothers me. Now, for a period of time, there have been weird things going on with the comments. I'll have comments that just people will post and they just disappear. And the way I know that is because if you post a comment on one of the videos, I have my phone app set to show me a notification, and it actually sends me an email as well. So I can read the comment on the email, and sometimes I can read part of it that shows up on the screen. In fact, there's a notification. I don't know if you're gonna be able to read that. There's a notification there from YouTube right now saying that this live stream has started. But when I see that, and I try to reply to it, there are some times that I'll click on it. In order to reply, I have to actually go to the comment. So I'll click on it and the comment's just gone. It's just not there. I can't reply to it. And this really bothers me, especially if somebody has asked a question, because I always try to prioritize if somebody has a question about a product that I reviewed or something that I demonstrated in a video or whatever. I want to try to answer those questions. That's why I do this. It's to share information and enjoy those relationships that we all have that with this common interest we have in firearms. So when I get questions, I really want to answer those questions. And when I can't, it bothers me because I think the person on the other end that posted the question is going to think, well, this guy doesn't care about anything. He just makes these videos and goes away and doesn't answer questions or anything else. So that bothers me. The other thing that happens that bothers me equally is I will get comments and I will try to reply to that comment, and the comment doesn't disappear, but it just will not let me post a reply. My reply disappears. And this is very comment specific because I will be going down through. Normally, what I do when I finish the premiere for a video, for the next hour or so, I go over to the comment section as long as I have time that I don't have something I have to do right away. But I go over to the comment section and I pretty much reply to the comments in real time. So comment comes up, hey, great video today. I really enjoyed it. Thanks, thanks for watching, whatever. Or if somebody asks a question, hey, why did you use, this method of doing something instead of that method or whatever? And I'll try to answer that question. And when I get these ones that I can't answer, where my reply is just automatically deleted, again, I feel like the person on the other end is going to think, this guy doesn't care. He just throws out these videos and then goes away and whatever. So there's that whole thing going on. And now we get the thing where they're just turning the comments off so nobody can post a comment. I heard it mentioned by another creator that this also the comments that come in on a video have a bearing on how widely that video is thrown out on YouTube, or how many notifications go out to how many people. Depends somewhat on the comments. Now, the way the video notices work, allegedly, it's sort of a cascading effect based on how popular a given video is. So when a video first goes live, basically YouTube allegedly sends out notification to the people who really like that person's videos, the ones that watch every video all the time, no matter what. So those people allegedly get the first notifications. Then, depending upon what number of that group of people watch the video, if there's enough of a percentage of them, then YouTube sends out more notifications to like the next tier of people who like that creator, but maybe they don't watch every single video. Maybe they watch, I don't know, 80% of them or something like that. Then, depending on how much of a percentage of that group watches the video, if it's a large enough percentage, and I don't know what the percentage is, I don't know what the numbers are. Then it goes out to the next tier of people, which are maybe the ones that watch 70% of that person's video. So that's how they determine how notifications go. And that's why some videos go viral. If everybody they send notifications to, or an extremely high percentage of the people that they send notifications to get or watch that video, then they promote it more and more and more, and then more and more and more people have an opportunity to watch the video. Now, ostensibly, the comments and the comments, the likes, all of the interaction that takes place on the videos also has a bearing on how widely they notify people about that video. Again, I don't know how much. I don't know if, say, whatever, 200 comments on a video gets you another, I don't know, 10% of notifications out there, and 500 comments gets you an extra 12% of notification. I don't know, but supposedly this happens. So by turning off comments, that's another way that that video is minimized, I guess is a good way to put it, where it's not going out to as many people and it basically reduces the exposure of that topic. Now, this goes hand in hand with the whole demonetization thing. YouTube claims they don't change their notification process, whether a video is monetized or not monetized. And I'm here to tell you, after 12 years of watching the way these videos progress in my analytics, that is not true. Demonetized videos get far, far, far fewer views than monetized videos. And the only reason that happens is because YouTube is notifying more people that that video exists, which is how people come to know about the videos. Whether it is in the suggested videos that comes up on your homepage when you first log on to YouTube, or if it's in the next up videos, or if you have autoplay enabled, so it just automatically goes to whatever the next videos is that YouTube decides to show you. Those are all means for promoting or popularizing, publicizing whatever a video once somebody uploads it. So I guess all of this to say, in my production schedule, as I said way back several minutes ago, I typically release a video on Saturday morning and Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And I probably in all of 2023, I might have missed maybe 2 Saturdays during the entire year and maybe 2 or 3 Wednesdays during the entire year. So if you have gone weeks and not received a notification that I posted a video, go to my channel page, because once you go there and you click on the videos that I've uploaded, you'll see everything that I've uploaded that's gone live to that date. And probably if you've gone several weeks and not gotten a notification, you're going to click in there and see there are several videos that you never knew existed. That doesn't mean they're going to be videos you like, but at least you'll know they exist. And so, anyway, all of this is the explanation as to why we're having a live stream this morning and not the typical Saturday premiere video. So now I have been completely ignoring all the comments off to the side here, and I'm going to try to catch some of these quick to see if there are any questions that have come up that I have not answered so far. Roy Kiefer agreeing with me about YouTube trying to harass and constrain channels that involve 2A matters. Yeah, and I don't think it's just 2A. I think we're a big part of it, but I don't think it's just firearms related content. I think there are other people in the basket of undesirables that are also experiencing the same type of thing. Steve Detweiler just put a disclaimer, rough video. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Jacob, is it Roynan? Roynan Fisher? Oh, okay. You're talking to Josh Twyman. Sorry about that. And Lion Quest Fitness here. Thanks for joining, Greg. I appreciate that. Need a quick sip of coffee here. A little bit of a caffeine boost. Mark C, the disloyal side, is worried that we are winning, so they are messing with you. Could be. I mean, when we look at the shenanigans that are going on nationwide, all across politics and the the pro Hamas thing, all this stuff. I mean, who knows? There are some people that have chalked this comments being turned off thing up to a glitch in the YouTube system, and I cannot really wrap my mind around that talking as a cop for 30 whatever years, 33 years, 35 years, whatever it comes up to. Um, it's too targeted to be just a glitch. And the other thing that catches my attention is most of the time, if there's a problem with a major tech company, if they get hacked or if something happens, they'll put out some sort of a notice saying, "Hey, everybody, just so you know, this happened, that happened, glitch, sorry." Nothing from YouTube slash Google over the past several days about this comment thing. Nothing. Not, "Hey, sorry, we had a some sort of snafu here at our office," or so and so uh pushed the wrong button one day. I don't know, but absolutely nothing. And I think that in itself is somewhat telling. And again, I'm scrolling through the comments over here, and a lot of this is discussion between all of you, which is fine. Josh Twyman hoping to pick up an AR next Friday, which is the 10th business day. So apparently you have a 10-day waiting period, I'm guessing, which is too bad. Fortunately, we don't have that here in Ohio. Mark Becker, sometimes YouTube will not let you like your videos. I guess I'm not surprised to hear that. That's one I don't think I knew of, but it doesn't shock me with everything. And supposedly likes are another thing that helps to increase a video's promotion throughout the YouTube system. Loves Dogs 1954. YouTube claims to be a platform rather than a publisher, so they are not subject to Section 230, yet they continually edit content. So, in fact, they are a publisher, but Congress looks past it. I don't know if the government getting involved in something like YouTube is a good thing or a bad thing. Typically, it seems like when government gets involved, things don't get better. No, the way to get the attention of companies like YouTube is through their pocketbook. But as I've said in the past, particularly the firearms content creators are such a small segment of the YouTube creator community that if we were all gone tomorrow, I don't think YouTube would even notice us. YouTube slash Google would even notice that we were gone, and they would probably be happy we were if they did notice it. I tend to think, and this is just strictly an opinion, that YouTube slash Google would like to have a very, very small segment of a certain type of firearm content creator. Probably no more than half a dozen, maybe not that many, that created content, maybe historical content, maybe sort of artistic content where they're showing, the sun setting behind somebody walking over a hill with a rifle over their shoulder that's hunting or whatever. But I think a lot of the firearms community is a pain in the neck for them, and to a degree, to a degree, I get what their concern is with some content that's uploaded on YouTube, and even why some advertisers might shy away from it. If you look at what has been posted out there, sometimes, think to yourself, do you want your kids watching that? Do you want your wife watching that? Do you want people who don't who are not into the firearms world, who don't know a lot about firearms? Do you want this person to be their introduction to firearms, talking about whatever they're talking about, the way they talk about it? Now, I'm not suggesting that they shouldn't be able to say what they want to and express themselves however they want or whatever. But again, I kind of get the concern, and this is where sometimes I think the firearms community can be its own worst enemy. Um, I've said this many times. When I started posting content to YouTube almost 12 years ago, I was very acutely aware, and I still am, that when I produce a video and I upload a video, I am presenting myself to a global audience. And it's not just me. It's not just Howard Funk. I am representing Americans. I'm representing police officers. I'm representing United States Marines. I'm representing firearms owners. So I try to present myself in the best possible way that I can. Which is not to say that I do things perfectly or that everybody else should do things the way I do or anything else. But I try to do that because I know that somebody living in wherever, Singapore, or literally, I mean, I get messages from people in places like Singapore or Australia or India or wherever, South Africa, will base their uh, opinion on American firearms owners, Marines, cops, whatever, at least to a point, on how I present myself as a member of those communities. And I take that very seriously. I always have. I have a good time. I try to present the best conduct that or content rather that I can, but I'm always aware of my conduct. And I don't know that necessarily everybody, and this is not firearms content creators, but I don't know that everybody who produces videos and presents them on YouTube thinks about that maybe to the degree that I believe they should. Anyway, back to the comments here. Mark Becker, been watching for 12 years. Yeah, it's not quite. It's about 11 and a half. It'll be 12 years the first week of December. And I always have to go back and look. I think might be Pearl Harbor Day. It might be December 7th is my anniversary for my first upload on YouTube. Fecal warning, own a Fulton Armory M16A1 upper, magnificent and functions flawlessly. Yeah, I love mine. I bought the whole rifle, upper and lower, and it makes periodic appearances in the videos, and it is pretty much a ringer for the rifle that I was issued when I was in the Marine Corps. Chewy for president. Where is he anyway? He's off lounging somewhere. He had his breakfast, so now he's working hard at lounging around doing basically not much. Craig Benz, I don't know how the rest of you use YouTube, but from the subscription page, everything shows up. When you say the subscription page, Craig, I'm not sure if you mean the channel page or if you mean when you just click on subscriptions. You might not have as much stuff showing up in there as you think you do. Truthfully, you might want to look at some of the channel pages for your places you're subscribed to double check that. Now, if you're getting notifications every single time somebody uploads something, then you must be watching those videos every single time because that's, as I said earlier, the people that are the most dedicated, loyal, whatever you want to call them, viewers are the ones that get the first round of notifications when a video is posted. Chris 1911 just got a Smith & Wesson 3844 this morning, made in 1930. That's cool. I passed on a 3844. What was the fixed sight version called? That was just the heavy duty, right? 3844 heavy duty. Passed on one of those years ago, and I always wish I would have picked it up. Nice revolver. So I hope you got a good one. Fecal warning, paid about 1,000 for the upper. I forget what I paid for my entire rifle. I want to say it was on the order of 1,300, but that's been several years ago now. Old U.S. Army saying, once is pesky bad luck, twice coincidence, three times is enemy action. A little bit of wisdom there from the Army. Roy Kiefer, a question: will a 4.4-inch barrel provide adequate velocity to ensure 45 ACP jacketed hollow point expansion at reasonable distances? There are a lot of variables that go into that, Roy. Everything from the specific hollow point slash load you're talking about to the reasonable distance we're talking about to the type of medium the bullet is encountering. Most 45 ACP ammunition is programmed to operate at its optimum velocity and optimum performance out of a 5-inch barrel. I would not think that reducing it to 4.4 inches would change the performance that dramatically. But again, there is just a lot that can influence how those bullets are going to perform. Steve Detweiler is other channels that I follow that will have the comments turned off. I think I wonder why and move on. Now I see this is a thing. Yeah, this is eh, when it happened to me this past week. I was not aware of it happening to other people. Since then, I've become aware that this is somewhat widespread. I've seen and heard quite a few people discussing it now. Josh Twyman, thanks for the $1.99 donation. I appreciate that. Jeeps Cafe, have you shot the Tizosh Commander lately? As a matter of fact, no, I have not. I should get that thing out. It's been a little while since I shot it. I've been shooting so many other things in these videos where I'm working on handgun optics and lasers and whatever else that I have not shot that one lately. Although I've got a video concept in mind that I want to work on hopefully soon that may well have a place for that. So we'll see what happens. By the way, I spent all day yesterday on the range because I've had some long range rifle work that I've wanted to do for a while now. I had some ammunition in for testing, and it's been one of these things with schedule and weather and everything else. Finally, yesterday, I got out to the big rifle range, and I was able to do some shooting out there. I got a ton of video. It is all just raw video at this point. It's probably going to take I don't even know how many hours to edit that into something useful. Plus, I'm going to have to do a segment in the shop where I'm basically what's the word I'm looking for? Narrating or explaining what you'll be seeing in the rifle range footage, which I've been using that format for a while now, and I think that works out pretty well. Where I go out to the range and I just shoot whatever I'm going to shoot while I'm there, and I take my video of that. And I don't do a lot of talking. Then I come back here and I work in the shop where I bring the target and I put the little stickers on and I talk about how things hit and all that. So there's not gunfire going on in the background. I don't have issues with lighting or anything else or other shooters or what have you. And that seems to be working out pretty well. I don't remember exactly when I started that, probably a year or so ago. And I don't do it exclusively. I still do some videos where I'm out at the range talking about whatever. Uh, that's the most expedient way to do it. If I'm at the range and I can tell you what's going on and demonstrate things and do my final thoughts at the range or whatever else, and I get everything done there, then it's just a matter of coming back here and editing the video and then uploading it. So I don't have another stage where I'm recording video back here. But I think it makes a little bit better video and it's easier to explain what you're seeing when I'm back here and I can actually review the video myself and see, okay, here's where that shot hit, here's where that shot hit, or here's what I did, or here's what happened, or whatever, and then explain that to all of you. I think that just seems to work a little bit better. And that was part of what I was not able to do with this video that I was talking about last week. And that might be part of the reason it feels kind of rushed to me. And again, going back to the comments here, Farhan Nashad, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Used to think that some 2A creators are doing good because they have around 2 million subs. Then I saw channels of some teenagers screaming reaction to video games with 20 million. So yeah, that's uh, the big channels on YouTube, from my perspective, are the video gamers and the funny cat people. If the video gamers and the funny cat people stopped producing content, YouTube will probably implode. So those are a couple of the really big ones. Firearms community is really, really small, which is part of the reason we get treated the way we do. We don't make the money in terms of ad revenue for YouTube that some of the video game crowd is just gigantic, and there are others out there too that are just insanely large for the type of content that they create. And it looks like we had somebody leave because I see everybody saying bye, Steve. So if I missed you, Steve, bye. Thanks for joining. And I'm scrolling down through. I know I'm way behind in the comments, but I'm scrolling down through here. Demolition Ranch has over 10 million subscribers. Didn't know that. And that's another thing. I have a very small number of other content creators, and one of them is Lion Quest Fitness, that I communicate with from time to time, and we can sort of compare notes and talk back and forth. But like I said, I'm not part of a huge entity that somehow has an in with YouTube that gets a lot of insider information or anything like that coming back out from them. I don't want my wife to watch YouTube because she'll find out where I get my ideas for gun purchases. That's why YouTube hates you. HR, I love your vids. Always doing great. Thanks, JC. I appreciate that. Ardmore Mooney. Hey, Chief. Any plans to review competition handguns like the CZ Tactical Sport or Shadow 2 Maybe. Periodically, I'll do something like that, but they don't appeal to me that much because I don't shoot in those kind of competitions, and a lot of times they are not real practical for the type of shooting I do. My focus is always firearms for defensive use of one type or another. Um, so a lot of the gaming firearms just don't really lend themselves to that well. They're big, they're bulky, they're heavy, they're whatever. Um, so yeah, sometimes I'll review something if I happen across one at House of Pain or wherever, and they'll loan it to me. So I've had a few over the years, but that's not really my thing, I guess. Roy Kiefer, I've never seen your YouTube comportment be anything less than idea. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate that. Craig Benz, were your cooking videos demonetized? As a matter of fact, one of them was, and I have to look. I'm not sure if it still is or not, but it was, and I had to do the appeal thing with it. Paul Puglia, hello to you. Bill 1717 just bought a 4 1/4 inch Colt Blue Python, waiting for it to arrive. Cool, cool firearm. I hope you love it. Charles Mullins here. Greetings to you. Nonsense Logic. Good morning to you and Semper Fi. I'm zooming down through these comments, folks. So if I miss one, I apologize. If you ask me a question and I missed it, feel free to repost it. Big Truck Brad, good morning to you. Paul Puglia, HR Funk. I heard people getting rid of their AR-15 because the government talking about lawing them. What do you think? I guess what I think is I'm not gonna be getting rid of any of mine. Um, there has been that concern for a long, long time, but, uh, when you think of particularly just over the last 10 years or so, the number of AR-15 style firearms that have been purchased by, uh, Americans, the idea of making them illegal with the stroke of a pen and, just suddenly people aren't gonna have them anymore, I just don't see that happening. We see a microcosm of that with the pistol brace thing, and that was a fairly small segment of the overall AR-15 family, if you will, and that has been a debacle that hopefully is gonna draw to an end in the not too distant future. So when we take a look at that, the idea of just all AR-15 strikes me as kind of an overreach to think that, they could actually just outright ban them and people would have to turn them in or whatever. Uh, Farhan Nashad, I pronounced it right. I'm glad I did because I was not at all sure. I have a hard enough time with names, what I'll call common names, that when I get not so common names, it becomes even that much more of a challenge. Craig Ben's My Funny Cat video has 31 views. Yeah, maybe you need to try another one, Craig. Charles Mullins, are you a prior service retired SEAL? No, I am not. I was in the United States Marine Corps from 1985 to 1989. I was out for almost 2 years. And then I got recalled for Operation Desert Storm. So I was right back in for a while. And I think I've talked about that in past live streams. It was the weirdest thing because I had been out for almost 2 full years. I went to the police academy. I got married. So my life had completely changed. And then, boom, I'm right back in the Marine Corps. I remember being back at New River Air Station down in North Carolina. I was on the second deck of the barracks looking out across the air station going, I can't believe I'm back here. But that was quite an experience. Russ Michael, good morning, HR and everyone. Just checked one of my game cams outside the house. We have a good sized black bear here. Stands well over 6 feet tall and goes over 400 pounds. Wow. That's they're once every few years there will be some sort of a news report here in Ohio that somebody has spotted a bear somewhere, but uh, there are very, very few, if any, bears here in Ohio. So I don't know what I would think if I came across a black bear out there when I was wandering through the woods. Probably go the other way. Greg Shearer, good morning from Southern Illinois, behind the Iron Curtain. Yeah, there. What was it that was reported on the news the other day? It was something to do with firearms, and there were the reporter said something like, there are some states that disagree or some states that are opting. I thought you don't have to name. Of course, they flash up the map, and you already know what the states are going to be. And of course, Illinois is prominently displayed there in the middle. I wish I could remember what the news account was. And Jeff Tim, the U.S. Army trained me to perform depot level maintenance to repair M16A1s in 1972. Learned the basics at best. Best military M16A1s are from General Motors, not Colt nor H&R. I think I don't remember having an AR-15 or an M16 actually from anybody other than Colt. But we're also talking a long time ago, so my memory could be getting kind of fuzzy. Fuzzy reticle, there seems to be an explosion in inexpensive Chinese optics hitting the market. I understand budget optics have a place, but I'm definitely in the buy once, cry once crowd. A lot of people are, but I got to say, and I think I mentioned this in my last video, the budget optics, I think, have improved more in the last few years than probably just about anything else in the firearms world. And the expensive ones, the Trigicons, the aim points, whatever, are certainly no worse than they ever were. They're still very good optics, but they're kind of the same as they've always been. Whereas the budget optics are much better than they've previously been. I know looking at the Siley optics that I had for my video that had the comments turned off on, uh, those were the second and third Siley optics, respectively, that I've reviewed, and I'm pretty impressed for something that's coming in. Well, in the case of the GT10, it's sub $100, like an $80 optic, and it does a good job. Throw it on the sub 2000, and there I've got a sub $500 firearm carbine with an $80 scope or $80 optic rather, and it does a good job. It it works. It puts bullets where I want them to go. I can't really ask for much more. Now, am I going to throw it out of an airplane at 20,000 feet and hope that it survives the trip to Earth? No. But for what I use it for, it works well. Bob, dear HR, do you prefer revolvers or semi-autos for cart? It must be for carry. Okay. Um, my answer to that would be yes. I prefer revolvers and semi-autos for carry. Um, It all depends on where I'm going, what I'm doing, how I'm dressed, um, what my level of concern is with regard to potential threats at the location that I'm going to. I've said many, many times my most carried firearm is my little 5-shot 38 special Smith& and Wesson J frame because it is so light and so easy to carry. In fact, you can't see it and I can't show it to you because I'll get booted off of YouTube, but it's sitting right here beside me on the desktop because when I stand up from here, I'll drop it in my pocket and I'll be off and running for the day. And wherever I go, this is going to sound like a song from the 1980s. Wherever I go, whatever I do, that thing is just resting right there in my pocket, and it's I guess an insurance policy for me. But even so, if I'm going someplace where I think, this could be a little dicey, or I don't really like this area, or whatever, then I'll probably opt for one of my semi-autos with a few more than 5 shots. And Bob, I think I answered that question just now about what I carry for self-defense. Nonsense logic. Oh, please like this video, subscribe to HR for the algorithms. Huh? Thank you. Ray Bodie, my M16A1 was a Colt. Hmm. I'd have to give that some thought. I just don't remember seeing anything other than Colts. But again, I could be wrong. It's been a lot of years. Charles Mullins got the Vortex 4.5 by 22 last week. And how do you like that? Mark Becker, Primary Arms are a very good deal in my experience. And I've not tried any of their optics. I know a lot of people like them. A lot of people like them. A lot of people like Swamp Fox. A lot of people I'm discovering like Siley. Fuzzy Reticle Hollow Sun proved to be a budget optic. It can be good and even excellent. I've got a couple of Hollow Suns that work very well. And again, just looking down through here, a lot of you guys are talking to each other, and I'm just looking for the next comment or question directed at me. Ben Crane, carry guns are like shoes, different ones for different occasions. Yeah, that's right where I am as far as what I'm carrying at any given time. Jeff Tim, I had an H&R basic, H&R in basic, a Colt and a GM Hydromatic in Texas, and a Colt in Germany. Okay. And shockingly, it looks like I've caught up on the comments over here, so I'm feeling pretty good. And we are coming up on the 1 hour mark. In fact, it's 55 minutes and 30 seconds that we've been going right now. And I'll take this another 4.5 minutes or so to make it an even hour. So if you have any last minute questions, comments, suggestions, or what have you, feel free to throw those out. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to get another swig of coffee, which is now just about room temperature. Miss Mimi is off at the gym this morning, so when she gets back, we're going to take off for our day. And going to have to look for a new motor for my pool. It turns out that the one that we've used since we got the pool several years ago is now junk. So I don't know exactly how much that's going to cost me, but I'll have to get that taken care of this morning, run over to the pool store. Hopefully it's not going to be too expensive. Big truck Brad, Smith & Wesson J-frame in 1911 for CCW seems to cover all the bases. That certainly covers a lot of bases with those two. If you could only carry one, what would it be? It's hard to answer that without any kind of context. If we're talking about normal society, just like now, law and order, all that, and I can only carry one, it's going to be different than if we're talking about a situation where somehow society is broken down and we've got civil unrest and whatever else, because I would make a different choice depending upon the circumstances. You really cannot answer the question like that, I don't think, without some kind of context to go along with it, because that would drive your decision. Roy Kiefer, feeling old since I was issued a grant. That's cool, though. It must be good to know that you were in the group of people, probably among the last people who ever issued one of those classic rifles. I think about that from time to time. I was in the last of the U.S. military, the last of the Marines who were issued as a general issue handgun, the 1911 A1. The Beretta M9 was being phased in just as I was getting out, but I was never issued one. Now, interestingly enough, when I was recalled for Desert Storm and sent to New River Air Station and reattached to the Provost Marshal's office there, I was once again issued a 1911 A1, and that was 1991. So even by that point, the M9 had not made it all the way out through the entire Marine Corps yet. And I don't even know if we had an M9 in the armory at PMO in New River in those days. Bill 1717 is leaving. Glad you made it, Bill. Have a great day. Greg Shearer, glad I caught the tail end to say hello to everyone. Glad you made it, Greg. Hello to you. Boomstick Revenge, Siley, CV Life, Monstrum, Discovery have been putting out decent optics lately. And of those, the only one that I'm familiar with is Siley. JL Robertus, Smith & Wesson Model 27. That, yes, there's going to be a video coming with the Model 27 in the fairly near future. Jeff H. just woke up. Glad you made it for the very end of the show, Jeff. Saw the old Marine coming back, pulled up the 1911. All right, gang, it's been fun. I hope you enjoyed this Saturday morning live stream. in place of the Saturday morning premiere video. Hopefully, you'll be able to leave comments on this once we wrap it up. So thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you who joined this morning, who participated, who commented. Thanks to all of you who watch the videos, comment on the videos when you can, like the videos and all that. I have said for years and years and years, I have the best viewers on the internet. I used to say on YouTube, I have the best viewers on the internet. You all make this experience for me. I do not do this to get rich, which would be laughable anyway. But I do it because of the interaction that I have with all of you and our ability, as I said earlier in the show, to be able to share our passion for firearms and our enjoyment of all things related to firearms. To my channel members, a special thank you to all of you who make that monthly contribution. There are times where, just like now, I'm fighting with YouTube over monetization, and that really does make a difference in my ability to continue my video production in those times when everything seems to be getting demonetized. So, to everyone, have a great, great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Hopefully, there will be a video up on Wednesday. Hopefully, you'll be able to comment on it. I'll see you next time. And until then, everyone, good shooting and bye bye for now.